Oh man. Iyashi no Dama, grounding ball jutsu. Something nobody prepares us for when we are getting older and stepping out into the world is choosing the correct partner for ourselves. And it's just so funny how ill prepared most of us are, even when we come from a good family, and how it's even worse if you're coming from an abusive family. Um, when you're raised in a family system that works like that, you're just basically being primed and prepped for somebody to abuse you out in the world. It's pretty much what you're getting prepared for. Your nervous system's being prepared for. So it's like a lot of time we stick around and shit, and in hindsight we're like, that was insane, but in the moment it feels, after we've healed, but in the moment it feels so natural to us, or it feels like something like that is normal, right? You know, I've like the women I've dated in my past, like were very reminiscent of my mother in different ways, and I just it would end up always just not satisfied, just hurt, dejected, tossed aside. Um, these are basically like female narcissists, and a lot of time they would use, you know, that dropping of your guard to kind of get into your world, and then once they kind of nestle into it, now it's too hard to let go, right? And then that's when they start showing their true colors of who they really are. And it's always the same. Like they always, they'll let you know that they've never had any relationships that worked out. They'll cry on your shoulder and everything, and then they end up, treating you exactly the way they explained that they were treated previously. So, but this all stems from like your childhood and how you were brought up and what you were subject to. Like for me, it was always being told I wasn't a part of the family, yelling, screaming, hitting, uh, the micromanaging, critiquing constantly. Um, it just wasn't really a safe environment, right? So like a lot of it, and then like my mom also, like, she was dating somebody who was on drugs, being an educated woman herself. So there was a lot of that as well. Just never being in a household that was like relatively safe. Like we used to have to hide our stuff from this dude and everything, and it was just a whole mess. And then on top of the stuff like my mom was doing to me, I was also getting that from him. Afraid of my stuff being stolen, or him like feeling like he could discipline me, and like, you know, as a kid, just like not really respecting him, knowing that he's like on drugs. So it's just like creates this dichotomy where like now I'm like seen as the problem child, my brother's being as the problem child, but in reality, like we just don't want somebody who we know at our age is not a reputable member of society policing what we do. Like so, I don't know. It was just a lot growing up. So by the time you get out into the world, your chaos threshold is just a little higher than other people's. Like whereas other people would walk away at the first instance of certain things, you stick around for longer, and you stick around, because it feels comfortable. It's not too crazy. What they're doing isn't too outlandish, in your mind. Meanwhile, like when you tell a story back to people what you were dealing with, they like immediately it's like they see all the red flags and everything. Like I've had girls like go out and step out of a relationship while I was in a relationship with them, or like flirt with other people while I was with them, constantly complain and like blame me for all their shortcomings and why they don't have certain things and all this other mess. And like it's just a lot of that behavior is just so like my mom coded, and it's just like a lot of these girls would end up being like jealous of me and jealous of talents I had, and it's like the same thing I would deal with my mom. Even like as to like recently, I tried to let her back into my life, and she tried to ruin my relationship with my significant other because I wasn't being the child, the respectful child I thought she thought I should be. So it's like, it's just never any respect had for other people, the parents that operate like this. So there's no winning. You just kind of have to just get away from them. And I didn't really realize this at first. Now I do. So now, like in hindsight, I can tell you guys, like, yeah, definitely a lot of that stuff I was dealing with was because of the mother wound I had, and I would have saved a lot of time and energy and effort if it wasn't for that money and everything. Like just all the like shortcomings that people don't talk about when you're coming from these family systems, and then it just makes it so much harder to go through life. On top of life just already being hard, and it's like you don't have a supportive family system, so now it's like everything else is harder, and then now you're choosing partners who aren't really for you, so it's just making make your life harder. So it's just, everything is just harder, like when you're just not set up for life. So, but things are better now. You know, I have a partner now who respects me and loves me, and things are great. But I definitely had to learn, you know, how to navigate basically by myself. And now, even still being with a partner who's for me, I still have to learn to undo a lot of things that I was, you know, that was stuck inside of me. And that just makes things even more complicated, because now, you know, and we've gotten over it now, but when we first got together, it was like, okay, are we not compatible, or is it just, and it was like really realizing how badly, like, I was affected in my past, and how, like, now I'm leaking that out into something that's good for me. But, you know, it's been a lot better, and like now in hindsight, it's like, okay, I can see why I kind of went through that. Not to be cliche, but it all makes sense now. It's like, you know, and now it's just life feels better, like knowing that. It's like, okay, I have like in a weird way, it makes it feel better to have a place to blame for that, because it's like, okay, and now I know it wasn't just me. Like, why am I choosing these people who aren't for me, and why am I always stuck in these situations where I'm being abused and dejected and tossed aside? It's like, okay, all right, now I got it. It's because of how I was raised. It makes sense. Okay, so yeah, but it's hard when you don't have, you know, a mother. I was talking more so about my mother, but even a father who is there and can kind of guide you and show you the love and respect that you need to have that foundation to come into the world and be better. And like, even like just spiritually, now it even comes into that work of having to focus on, you know, the lower chakras, because that's what it has to do with the family and your roots and how you were brought and raised and everything. So it's like, it even goes into your spiritual work, how you approach your spiritual work, how you were raised, you know, and everything. But I digress. I think that's enough. Amen to that. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know some of your stories, what you guys have went through. You're trying to, like, you know, navigate the world coming from a family system that's not, you know, the best for you. All right. Well, peace.